Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 611, we're going to talk about Omnath, the Locus of Creation, because it's Omnath Day. Just in case, there's anyone who had known, today, Wizards banned Omnath in 3 formats, but we don't have to worry about that in our format, because it's all good. This is Commander. Come play with your broken toys. And here's how I'm going to play with it. Now, there are a lot of ways to make Omnath ridiculously powerful. Obviously, there is the fetches and ways to play lands from the graveyard. Those are all awesome, none of which are present here. What I actually wanted to do here, I sat down today after reading the banned restricted announcement, and I was going to make a deck full of banned cards that were banned in some kind of format. I got a couple. I got Wilderness Reclamation, Cloud Post, and Tree of Tales, because I figure they're lands, And if everybody plays with Cloud Post, then it becomes the greatest card in the game, right? So, and I guess, Soul Ring is banned in some formats. But anyway, let's get to the deck. First and foremost, let's go back and let's read Omnath, because we didn't do that. I did not do that. For 4 mana, no black. When Omnath enters the battlefield, you draw a card. So it instantly replaces itself. This is a 4 mana 4/4 that draws you a card. Landfall. If it is your first land, you gain 4 life. If it is your second land, you get Omnath's casting cost, 4 free mana. If it's the third land, it deals 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. Now, 4 mana 4/4 draws you a card, gains you 4 life. You can reliably make that happen with just your normal land drop, right? But playing 2 lands in a turn in our format is not outstanding. It's outstanding, but it's not uncommon, shall I say. So, if you can make 3 land drops after Omnath is out, you have a 4 mana 4/4 that draws you a card, gains you 4 life, gets you a Blacker Lotus, and does a Flame Rift? Well, no, better, yeah. So, wow. So, the one thing, I'll just be straight up, here's a win condition. Because that last line says Omnath deals 4 damage to each opponent. We're going to give it Infect. Grafted Exoskeleton right off the bat, this is a thing. It's not our only win condition, but, shortest route to victory and all. Because what we can do is we're going to play many, many lands. But the problem is, after you play your first, second, and third land, Omnath's done for the turn. So, what you got to do is you've got to unsummon him, Chain of Vapor, Word of Undoing. Those 1 mana instants so that you can pop them up and to recast him, because you're going to hold that the Omnath mana from your second landfall. And then once you cast it again, it's a new permanent, and you get to do the cycle over again. Yes, it does unequip the exoskeleton if you happen to have it. If not, you're just churning through your stuff. The Curiosity kind of does the same thing. It deals damage to an opponent, you draw a card. So we're drawing 3, assuming the table is full. Ophidian Ice, something very, very similar. So you see what I'm, now, let's look at, what do we have here? I guess ramp, is it permanent ramp? A Bird of Paradise, an Arcane Signet, and a Commander Sphere. That's it. All the rest of it is land search, because that's what we're here for, right? So, now I would really love a Growth Spiral for the deck, because it is banned, but I didn't have another Growth Spiral. So I was like, man, it's perfect for the deck. But so is a lot of other cards. before we get to Veteran Explorer, though, the Omnath, if you've got a spare Emil laying around, the Battle Bond, or not the Battle Bond, the Jumpstart Unicorn that just says mana : blink a creature. Oh, that's hot. That's hot with Omnath. If you've got it, run it. It's beautiful. But Veteran Explorer, of course, is going to die. That's what he's there for, so that everybody can double rampant growth. Except they're not tapped, This is a heavy, heavy green deck with the other three colors as pretty much a splash. We have Explore, Rampant Growth, Harrow. That right there is 2 land drops. So if you made your normal land drop and then Harrow, that's all 3. Same way with Rolling Regrowth and Cultivate and Kodama's Reach. Explosive Vegetation, Far Wanderings, Circuitous Route, and this is Renewal. You know what I'm saying? Sky Shroud Claim. Here's something I really, really love about Sky Shroud Claim, because it says, you search your library for 2 forest cards. My Catcher Triome is a forest. Sure enough, he is. I actually tried to put some more Triomes in there, but as I was entering it in the deck to Architect, I realized that, they weren't, how should we say, legal. Dang old black mana symbols. So, but then we have Rites of Flourishing. Everybody loves Double Meat, Double Cheese. Actually, just left Subway. Urban Evolution, Beanstalk Giant, because why not? And Storm Cauldron. Now, I don't know if we want to call Storm Cauldron land ramp. It does put a lot of people behind, but in the event that you need the Storm Cauldron, it's there. That way you can reuse the same land for land drops, while, coincidentally setting everyone else behind. So let's look at landfall triggers, shall we? Of course, we got to have our Lotus Cobra and the Ruin Crab. The Ruin Crab blows my mind. I thought the originals Zendikar Crab was awesome, but this says each opponent. Beautiful. Scoot Swarm. Now, I have yet to cast this card, but it looks very dangerous. Okay. Land enters the battlefield under your control. You get an insect. Okay. If you control 6 or more lands, we're running, 44 lands in the deck? Create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. So, then we're going to have 2 of these. And if we continue to lay... and they're all going to... Yeah, it just divides like cells at that point. It's a Scoot Swarm. There are always more Scoot Bugs, right? Prowling Felidar. And it gets a 1/1 counter. A lot of the landfall triggers here, as you notice, are creatures, because that gives us another win condition with just good old-fashioned combat with, overrun, giving them trample. We have a Trove Warden. It's really, really good. I love me some Geode Ranger. So, if we're going to dependably make 3 land drops a turn, then we can goad all of our opponents every turn, meaning they just can't attack us, even if they want to. I love this card. I don't know why it's so cheap. I'm probably going to pick up more. Emir Angel, good landfall creature that makes other creatures that fly, so why not? Tatiova has landfall, but not have landfall. It was in a set, Dominaria, obviously, that didn't use the landfall keyword, but that's landfall. Landfall draw a card is sweet, and gain you a life for your troubles. Rampaging Baloth, y'all know, is one of my favorite cards because, I like free 4/4, beasts. Who doesn't? Felidar Retreat. Now, this is, ooh. So you either get a cat or you put a 1/1 counter on your team on each creature you control. See, I had read this the first time. I was like, well, that's all right, I guess. And then went through to build this deck, and I went, oh, wait a minute. That says on each creature you control. That's sick. Zendikar's Royal, of course, is going to make 2/2 elementals. Admonition Angel. This is, man, I remember Admonition Angel from the original printing. I believe it was Worldwake. So, yeah, Landfall O-Ring sounds good. And, of course, I thought about trying to get all 4 Omnath in here, but Omnasty here. Some people call him the Kool-Aid Man, Angry Omnath. But I've always called this one Omnasty. Because it's a nasty, nasty card. Landfall, make 5/5s. What? Now this one, not exactly a landfall trigger, but a 5 mana 15/15 trample. Pretty okay in my book. Because, we're going to have 10 or more lands eventually, right? Now, I do have some weird stuff. My weird stuff category. I say weird stuff, we have card draw like Return to the Wild Speaker, Harmonize, a little bit of Opt. Now, Gaia's Blessing is in there mainly because, Mill has gotten actually decent in our format. It really has. What with the Jumpstart guy and then the new card that says everybody Mills has. Yeah, it's crazy. So, Gaia's Blessing, if nothing else, it's going to draw you a card, right? Zendikar Incarnate, just a big beater, right? Min and Din's going to let you have double landfalls. Now, if you've got Azusa's or the Dinosaur, any of those, run them all. I just, because I build so many decks, I'm out of a lot of key pieces. Thank goodness for the Zendikar Precons, right? But let's look at Song of Creation. I think this is the first deck I've put Song of Creation in. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but it just seems like so powerful of an engine that I have to try it. So we get to make 2 land drops a turn. Cast a spell, draw 2 cards. Yeah, at the beginning of your end step, you drop your hand. Why does it feel like you're just going to get so far ahead that it's not going to matter? You're not going to care about discarding your hand. It's probably the I'm winning this turn or next turn kind of deal, and it doesn't really matter, like I said. Using some elephant grass, if I had propagandas or ghostly prisons, they'd be in here. But elephant grass, it's the green version, and just doesn't get a lot of love. And it has the virtue of, I have it. A little bit of removal, not a lot. Of course, the idea here is we're going to do our thing, and we're going to hope nobody, So Ground Assault, Disenchant, Return to Nature, and Hull Breach. Because, Sensei says you got to have a Hull Breach if you have a red-green deck. I don't have that many Hull Breaches, Sensei. So, if he's watching this, now granted he's not my Sensei, but anyway. So let's look at our non-basic lands, shall we? Let's look at my fetches. Yeah, my fetches, because y'all know it is an absolute full set of panoramas. Now, we can use a full set because they don't have mana symbols on them. They just use the words, and they all got 3, and of course, so we have the Bant Panorama, Jund, Grixis, Esper, and Naya. And the reason why we want to use them all is because they act pretty much as another copy of like Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse. We get the landfall trigger from it, and then we sack it to go get another land, and that's our second landfall trigger. So effectively, we've gotten 2 landfall triggers off of 1 land. The same thing, Blighted Woodlands actually really ballin', because this enables all 3. Your Blighted Woodland land drop, and then the 2 that you go get. So, pretty close to the same thing with Crows and Verge. You get a forest and a plains. Sure, why not? Got a few multicolors in here, like the Jungle Shrine, Seaside Citadel, Exotic Orchard, Command Tower, Grove of the Burn Willows, and the Green-White Pathway land. I all of the pathway lands that I pulled have found their way into a deck somewhere here or there. So trying them out. I mean, they're beautiful cards, but we're going to see how they play. This is most of the time I'll play the pathway lands I've noticed in decks that I use bounce lands. This is the first one that I'm not using a bounce land because the bounce land, you can get to reset it if something happens and you need the other side. Anyway, and of course a crazy amount of basics. Say a crazy amount. I am running like 2 plains, 2 mountains, a whole bunch of forest, and a few islands. So, because there's more blue, there's more green than anything else, but the secondary color is blue because band cards and Simic. Yeah, I would have loved to have had like an Oko or an Uro or something like that. That would have been sweet. But it's just not in the car. Oh my god, I didn't realize that. Anyway, so that is number 611. Wanted to get that one done today because it's Omnath Day, right? So at 611, and we'll go put it on the wall and we'll start another row. And that is it for Omnath. So my first response today when I read that was we have, in my opinion, of course I'm a little biased, we have the best format there is. We don't get bannings every month or every set release or what have you. I love how our format is almost self-regulated. I mean, yes, we have a wonderful rules committee and the advisory group. All those folks, outstanding. But we all manage it, you know what I'm saying? Through our local play group and what we do, the experience that we want. So, I'm always down for anything. I don't... Once again, I don't play with proxies because it's a thing with me. All of these decks are 100%. We all seen them all. There's no proxies. They don't share cards, whatever. I don't have any silver border, but I love. Well, actually, that's not true. Right up here, let's see if I get my finger. Those two, but they're not in the count. I have 2 silver border decks. Y'all remember those from a couple years ago, but. I have fun, love it, but that's what I've got, and I do appreciate y'all watching, and don't get bummed out about stuff getting banned out of standard, historic, modern, whatever. Come play Commander. It's all about the shuffle and cut.